Hey everyone, I hope you're all doing really well. Today I'm going to be sharing with you my first update for my 30 by 30 project pan. This is a project pan that I started 2 months ago, and I did have a pretty decent description of this project in my intro, so I highly recommend that you go and check that out so you can kind of get a better understanding of what this project is and what I'm hoping to accomplish with it. But virtually my goal with this is to get 30 uses out of 30 products in my collection by November 30th, which is just after my 30th birthday, hence the whole 30 theme. I also do have a spreadsheet, which I'll link down in the description box of this video as well, where I wrote out all of my rules and goals, as well as the 30 eligible products that I will be rolling throughout the remainder of this project pan. So I have been focusing on the initial 10 products for the past 2 months, and I just want to share with you where I'm at on my usage and kind of just some reflections on each of these products since I have been using them for quite some time now. And I am so nervous that I'm gonna have this lipstick on my teeth, so I'm probably gonna be checking for that periodically, and yeah, I already do. So I hope I didn't have that on my teeth for the entire intro, but if that's the case, well, at least I know now. But yeah, let's just get on into all of the progress. First item I have here is one by Catrice. I'm just gonna go through these in the order that I rolled them into this project because I don't really know how else I would like to categorize these. But the first item I rolled randomly in my introduction was this Catrice gloss. This is the Plump and Shine lip gloss, or Generation Plump and Shine, in the shade Shimmering Goldstone. Every single bit of writing on this thing has rubbed off, so I'm really not entirely sure what the name of this product is, but in any case, I've actually used this now 33 track times. I'm pretty sure I've probably used it even more than that because some days I would throw this on in like the middle of the day, and so I wouldn't actually track it after I did my full face application. And some days I wore this when I didn't even wear other makeup, so I'm pretty sure it's been reached for even far exceeding more like 40 uses. And I kind of had a feeling this would be done within 30 uses, but I still don't think I'm anywhere near close. Like, when you see this product, actually, it looks like it's fully opaque, like it looks like it's pretty much full, but that's just because it's a very like thick kind of gloss. It's not like a very thin oil kind of consistency that would settle. This is very thick and it kind of like holds onto the sides of the bottle just like it does, like kind of grip onto the lips and like create like almost like a film on the lips, like a sticky kind of top coat. But it does look like it's actually down to about here. I haven't yet taken out the stopper, however, so there is still quite a bit of product remaining in here, but I'm really happy to be rolling it out of this project so that when I roll in my additional 5 items, it won't feel like there's so many focus items. So I'm happy that's rolling out, but I am very close to using it up, so it's something I probably will end up putting into a future project pan within this year to kind of just get it out of my collection. I don't absolutely love it. I think I used to really like it, but I've tried so many more lip gloss formulas in the past few years that I just prefer so much more than that one. Like I said, it's kind of sticky, a little bit filmy, a little bit like it really holds onto the lips, so you can get a really nice glossy effect for long term, but I just don't love it. And I think it's discontinued anyway, so my like review of it is not really that relevant, but yes. Anyways, super happy that's going to be rolling out of this project. This next product is a contour powder. This is the ABH contour in the shade Fawn. This came in the contour kit, but this is the only thing that I still have remaining from that set. And I don't know why I can't seem to part with it, but I don't tend to contour all that often, but for some reason, I think I just kind of want it as like an option in case I do feel like contouring. So to reach for this 30 times is quite steep. I've come to realize that 30 uses is quite significant and something that is very challenging for me personally because I like to use a variety of things for my collection. I don't really like to just hone in on a very small select few products, but in any case, I have reached for this 15 times, so I am halfway to my goal, which is great. By my next update, it shouldn't be a problem to roll this out of this project if I keep up with the momentum that I've had over the past 2 months. But most often I didn't wear this as a contour powder, so the wear on this is very minimal. I oftentimes wear it as a transition shade for my eyeshadow. I didn't wear it today actually, but a lot of the time lately, that's how I've been kind of using it as like my starter transition sort of shade for my eye looks. But then today, actually, I am wearing it through my brows. So that's my 15th use. I've been using it a fair amount of times through my brows because I like that it is a cool tone and it's very soft in the brows. It doesn't look super, super structured. But yeah, I'm really not sure I'm going to use this that many more times as an actual contour, but I am still able to multi-purpose it and get that usage out of it through this project regardless. You will find actually with a lot of these products that I have been using them, but I've been using them in different ways than perhaps what they're intended, like this next product here as well. This is the Cover FX High Performance Setting Spray. I've had this for freaking ever, and I don't know where I'm at with this. I cannot remember really how full it felt in the introduction of this project and in comparison to now either, and it's completely opaque. Even when I take off the lid and try to like look through it, I still can't see at all where I'm at, but it's pretty dang full still. I will tell you that, like, we are nowhere near close to done with this product. But I have used it 11 times now in this project pan. Again, not really as a setting spray. Actually, I think I only used it one time as a setting spray. But I have been using this to more so like foil eyeshadows, and then I can't remember exactly who it was. I feel like it was Becky. I just checked. Yes, it was Becky who recommended this, and that was such a great recommendation. So what she said was that she uses a setting spray like this to wet her sponge, or like to dampen her sponge a little bit more when she applies concealer under her eyes, and it helps with the like longevity and the application of the product. And I just feel like it really does like lock my concealer in place really well without having to go in with more kind of setting powder. So I have been really enjoying it in that way. Now that I look back on it, I'm like, how have almost 60 days gone by and I've only used it 11 times? I don't know. I really need to amp up my usage. As we're getting into the warmer months now, I do imagine that I will be wearing this much more frequently in the coming months. So hopefully by my next update, I can actually roll this out of this project and move on to something else in its place. And the next product that I have, this is a multi-purposer again as well. This is the Madam Glam. I believe this is the matte lipstick. Yes, it says it right on the bottom. I don't know why I even started saying that because I had already read it, but this is the matte lipstick in the shade Liar. And this is a super pretty kind of corally, salmon-y kind of color. And when I introduced this into this project, I was like, it's gonna be pretty easy to wear because it's kind of muted. And in theory, this is something that I feel like I would really like. Like every time that I swatch it, that's a horrible swatch, but every time that I swatch it, I feel like it is super beautiful and I feel like that would be so wearable. But I put it on my lips one time in this entire past 2 months, looked at myself in the mirror, and I just was like, no. And I wiped it off, and I haven't worn it as a lipstick since. I've only reached for it actually 7 times in this project, and all of those times were as a cream blush. It is so beautiful as a cream blush, so I haven't strayed from that because that first interaction with this product in this project kind of threw me off a little bit. So 7 uses, I'm really behind where I should be with this, but I foresee myself really enjoying using this again in the warmer months as a cream blush. Perhaps when I have a bit more color to my skin, when I get a bit more of a tan, I may be driving with this as a lipstick color as well, but I really gotta get on my progress with that because 7 uses, I'm slacking hard with 7 uses, and there's some other products in here that I haven't even used that many times, and like, I feel bad that in 2 months, I've used that 7 times. So that's why check-ins are so important. I can really just track where I'm at and kind of remotivate myself to keep on track and keep reaching for these products more and more. But the next product I have here is one that, again, is depotted from like a highlight and contour kit. This one is by NYX. This was from their highlight and contour kit, and this is in the shade Nectar. Again, it's the only shade that I have from that palette remaining, but I could not ever seem to just let this product go. It's a beautiful, like, soft highlighter, and I have used it an absolute ton. Let me just count up my tallies a little bit. I've used it 31 times, so I have exceeded my goal with this, which is amazing. I'm super happy about that actually. I've been really enjoying using this lately. Sometimes I will wear it just to kind of set down my eyeshadow primer or concealer before I go in with other shadows. Sometimes I'll use it to like buff out my shadow just so that everything looks very seamless, and other times I've been wearing this as an actual like dedicated, very soft highlighter. I'm not wearing it today as a highlighter, and I kind of am regretting that I didn't do that because it is absolutely so beautiful, and it's a really great product to use to kind of like buff out other cheek products and just blend and merge everything together. It's just great for that, for the eyes and for the cheeks. And I really do enjoy this, and I'm honestly surprised that now that I'm looking back and realizing I have used this 31 times, I'm surprised I haven't yet hit pan on it, but I have been much more light-handed with my makeup applications lately. I mean, I look like I got a lot of makeup on today because I have a lot of makeup on today, but for the most part lately, I have been much more light-handed and doing things a lot more light, and especially because some of those uses were just as an eyeshadow kind of setting, prepping kind of shade. The usage is very minimal, but I do want to actually put this into a future project pan and really try to hit pan on it eventually. So this is really great knowledge to realize that 31 uses really didn't show a huge amount of difference. Like I can see the rings in here, so perhaps in a handful of more uses I could hit pan on it, but this was a really good like start to be able to put this into a future project pan and be able to see some progress a little bit faster in a future project pan. That's one of my goals with this project, is to just get these items ready to use up eventually. So yeah, I am really happy with that progress, and I'm really happy to realize actually just now, it just occurred to me, I've used it 31 times, which is amazing. This next focus product is a Super Shock Shadow by ColourPop. This is in the shade Telepathy, which is a stunning green gold kind of shade. This was a collaboration with Kathleen Lights, and I adore this eyeshadow. I love it so much. I've had this one for freaking years, but I've had pan on it also for years and kind of just have neglected it in the past little while. So I'm happy that I've been reaching for it in this project. I ended up using it so far 9 times, which I think is really good. Like actually, I'm surprised I've used this more often than I've used this lipstick. So 9 uses with a super unique shade like this, I think is really great, even though it has been 2 full months. And I may be able to roll this out by my next update, but I actually don't mind if I have this in for the rest of this year. I would be happy to see by the end of the year that I had 30 uses on this product, because honestly in 2020, I don't even know that I reached for this. So that's an improvement in any case, and I'm really happy to be reaching for that. I'm so excited about this shade. Every time that I have worn it, I've really enjoyed it. I've worn it as a like liner, I've worn it as an inner corner color, I've worn it all over my lid, I've worn it with like blues, I've worn it with like warm browns, I've worn it with a variety of different types of shadows. I've worn it as like a base underneath like those like red brown kind of brown red green like ColourPop Tea Garden kind of shades. I've worn it in so many different ways and I've loved it quite a lot. So even though it's only 9 uses, I still feel like I've gotten a really good range of usage out of this product, and I've been really enjoying it. Next up, let's talk about my e.l.f. Illuminating Palette. This is a product that I think I was sleeping on for so long, and I did roll it into my Shop My Stash a couple times back in 2020, and I'm really happy to have been focusing on it actually in this project because I really enjoy it quite a lot. It was a gift with purchase from e.l.f. and I'm honestly really happy to have it. So unfortunately, I've not yet hit pan on any of these shades. I honestly thought that I would have in the amount of times that I've used it, which I haven't even told you is 34 times. Today I'm wearing this like bronzy shade kind of as like a topper blender kind of shade that I just kind of melded all of my cheek products together with. And I've used it, yeah, 34 freaking times, and I'm surprised. But the wear on specifically these 3 products right here is pretty significant. I'm happy with that. I'm really happy to see like 30 uses has made this look really well loved, but also to still have used it for 34 times and still enjoy it as much as I used to and as much as I thought I did. So I really like this. 34 uses is amazing, and I am happy though that I will be rolling it out of this project now, and eventually it is something that's going to find its way into a future project pan for sure, because I love it. I really, really do love it. Okay, so this next product I've only used 3 times. 3 times. This is the Milani Conceal and Perfect Shine Proof Powder in the shade 03 Natural Light. I don't know if I had mentioned it in my intro, but this shade is maybe just a touch too deep for me at this moment. And like you can see, it looks a little bit more yellow than my skin is at the moment. And so it's something that probably is better suited to me for the summer. But I also just don't generally use powder on the entirety of my face at the moment. So, or honestly for like the past year or so. So this is just something that's completely being neglected. One time I did wear it as an all over powder foundation and it was just too deep for me. And then the other time I think I just used it as like an eyeshadow setting, like an eyeshadow primer setting kind of powder. And I've just neglected it otherwise. But I do think come the warmer months when I do have a little bit more color, this is something I'm going to be reaching for more often because sometimes I don't like the feeling of a liquid foundation on my skin, and this does make a really beautiful, beautiful powder foundation. Even though this isn't technically sold as a powder foundation, it does look absolutely beautiful as a powder foundation. So although I've only used it 3 times, and that is just, I feel kind of like a little ashamed to even say that I've only used it 3 times, I foresee this being something that I will reach that goal of 30 uses on, but it's just gonna take me a while. I'd like to at least use it like 6 times by my next update, double the amount of uses I've had in this first update. We'll see. We'll see on that one. And this next product is a discontinued lip product that I've neglected so much, so much. This is by Essence. This is the Sheer and Shine lipstick in the shade BFF. This is something that I've held on to for so long, but never really wore. And that's weird because every time I'd swatch it, I'd be like, yes, so pretty, it looks so comfortable. It's like a sheer, shiny lipstick, just like the name suggests. It's just like a beautiful like wash of color with a glossy sheen. I've used it 6 times now and I don't love it whenever I do wear it. I think it is just the actual color itself. It's a little too pink, a little too rosy for my personal preferences, especially when it does come to like more of a sheer kind of lipstick formula. But I am gonna power through and try to finish it off in those, or not finish it, but reach those 30 uses on it eventually. I'm just not gonna put any pressure on myself to like rush that. But yeah, it is pretty. Like whenever I do swatch it, I'm like, that's really pretty. And I do think at one point, like these more like pink, almost like borderline mauve kind of tones were my preference. And I don't know why lately I'm just not jiving with that kind of lipstick. So maybe if you have any recommendations of ways that you would pair this, like what kind of eye looks or like what kind of products you would pair this with, let me know so that I can kind of amp up my usage and maybe fall in love with this in a way that I just haven't over those past 6 uses. But okay, we're already at the last, not already. We are finally at the last product. This is the First Aid Beauty Primer. This is the Pores Be Gone Matte Primer. I honestly did not remember how I felt about this product prior to rolling it into this project, so I was really like happy for the opportunity to pull it into this project and get to familiarize myself with it again. I have now used it 12 times, which I think is actually really good considering this is a matte primer, and like I said about the powder, like matte just hasn't been my preference lately, but this is not the kind of like drying kind of matte formula that makes your skin look dry. This is a kind of matte formula that is more of just a balanced kind of look. It doesn't really truly look matte. In those 12 times, most often I did just wear this very targeted, like right in the center of my forehead where I can get very, very shiny, or like right here around my nose where I can get very shiny. And I've worn it, like I went for a bike ride once and I wore it when I was biking, even though I didn't have any other products on, just to kind of like keep my face looking semi-matte. But I've actually really been enjoying this, like really enjoying using this, and I'm really happy that I did roll it into this project because it was being very much neglected in my collection. It's a very nice, just kind of prepping sort of product that doesn't overly hydrate but also doesn't dry out the skin. It's a really, really great product, and it smells kind of like candy, like a watermelon kind of candy or something like that, and it's just really delicious smelling, and it's been something that I've actually come to enjoy more than I maybe had anticipated I would through this project. So I'm happy that I've used that 12 times, and I don't foresee it being any sort of issue actually reaching for that an additional 18 times before my next update, especially considering the warmer weather is, you know, here, I think. I think it's here to stay. Alrighty, so I just went and grabbed all 5 of the new products that are going to be making their way into this project. And the first one, as you saw, was the Charlotte Tilbury Beauty Light Wand. This is in the shade Spotlight. This is a very like cool light highlighter, and it comes with this stupid little doe foot applicator. I'm not a fan of that, but it is a very beautiful liquid highlighter, and honestly, I forgot this was in my collection, so I'm glad I put it in as a possibility to roll into this project, because I have really neglected it for the entirety of it being in my collection. I just don't love Charlotte Tilbury like as a brand, so a lot of her products that I do own, unfortunately, they just kind of like live in my collection, and I don't really tend to want to reach for them. But I did just recently finish up a Becca liquid highlighter that I think this is going to make a really good just like replacement for in my routine and in my collection. So I'm looking forward to reaching for this. I don't see it being a problem actually getting 30 uses out of that, and I might actually be close to done with it in 30 uses, because these do not come with a lot of product whatsoever. So it's entirely possible I could get pretty dang close to using it up in that 30 uses. And then the next product that I rolled in was this foundation by Smashbox. This is the Studio Skin 15-Hour Wear Hydrating Foundation, and this is in the shade 2.1. Unfortunately, in my collection, things were like laying down, so I'm not entirely sure where I'm at with this, but I'm pretty sure it's like pretty far up. I have not used this near enough, and you can see the shade is a little bit too deep for me. That's part of the reason why, because when I am deep enough to wear this in the summertime, I just tend to prefer to wear something that's a little bit lighter coverage than this. This is a like medium coverage foundation, and although the finish of it is really nice, I just tend to neglect it. That's really the theme of this project. That's the reason why I put these products into this project pan, because I can't seem to part ways with them. I don't want to declutter them, give them to someone else, but I just kind of hold on to them, and it's time to get some significant usage out of them. So this is something that for the immediate future, I don't imagine myself wanting to reach for, actually probably for the first month or so of this project, or of it being in this project. But come the summer, I think if I mix it with any of my primers, that's probably the way I'm going to get use out of it. I might end up falling in love with it. I honestly don't remember how I feel about this product, so this is a good opportunity to just get to know it and to hopefully fall in love with it and hopefully use it 30 times. And then the next product, I believe this was the next one I rolled in. I could be wrong in the order, but regardless, I think this might be something that actually will mix really well with that product. This is the Milani Prime Light Primer. This is a kind of like strobing kind of highlighter. That's what it's labeled as. It's just got a beautiful luminous finish to it. And if I show you it in comparison to the Charlotte Tilbury, it is much more golden, and I think it doesn't have as much reflect. But it is a really beautiful base. I don't know if you can even see the difference here. This here is the gold of the Milani, and then here is like the more, it's slightly more like cool tone, the Charlotte Tilbury one, but realistically they don't actually look all that different, but they are intended for different purposes. So I do think that the combination of these two products is probably how I'm going to get good use out of both of these. This is a really pretty base. I'm sure I can use it 30 times pretty easily. I always love a good glowy primer, but I do have to remember I've got this other primer that I'm going to be focusing on as well. That's why I really want to try to get my 30 uses like between every single update, so that I'm not rolling in something that's very comparable to another product by the next update. But it is what it is. So now I've got 2 primers to focus on for the coming months, but that's okay. And then I have 2 products that are panned products. Again, one is by Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Cheek to Chic Swish and Pop Blusher in the shade Ecstasy. This is a really pretty nude kind of color, and I can't seem to open it. It is currently in my Shop My Stash, and every time I look at this freaking blush, I'm like, it looks like a boob. Like, I just can't help myself but think that that is so fun. So yes, it's my boob blush, my nude boob blush, and I freaking do really love this. And ever since it's been in my Shop My Stash for this month, I've actually been reaching for this a ton, so I know it's not going to be whatsoever a problem to wear it. In fact, if I wear this lipstick by Madam Glam as a cream blush and then top it off with this, that combo is going to be so, so beautiful. And so it's not going to be an issue reaching for this 30 times. And then the last item I have here, I think, again, is something I'm going to use more so come the summertime. This is the Revolution Vivid Baked Bronzer in the shade Golden Days. This is a very red, warm bronzer. And I'm not currently working on any powder bronzers in my collection, so I am happy that I'm going to be reaching for this. And I think that right now it is maybe just a little bit too deep for my preferences, but I think that in a few months' time, or even in like a month or so, this is going to make a really good alternative to that bronzy kind of shade in the e.l.f. Illuminating palette. And I foresee myself just kind of using it in that way to kind of like meld all of my face products together and to create like a blushy bronzer all-in-one kind of look. So 30 uses on this may be a bit of a challenge, but I think it's something that I can reach for quite a lot. I freaking love being bronzed to the gods, you know? So that is going to be everything. Now I have 12 products to focus on in this project, which is quite a lot to be focusing on, especially considering I have to get 30 uses out of each of them, but I'm glad I do have some momentum on some of the products that were in this project previously. And all of the new items, I do foresee myself being able to reach for 30 times, that not being like too challenging. But who knows what the next update will hold. Quite honestly, I don't know what to expect with this project at this point. There's maybe 1 or 2 items I can foresee myself really actually being able to roll out of this project, but we do have 2 more months time until my next update, which will be on the 30th of May. So we'll see how things go. But that is going to be everything for my 30 by 30 project pan update. Thank you so much for watching and for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye everyone.